Hello and welcome. Today we'll be talking about the Aurora A3 from RovyVon. This is a small 60-63 aluminum type flashlight. Length is going to be 57.3 millimeters or 2.26 inches. Diameter is going to be 15.6 millimeters or 0.61 inches. Weight is going to be 19.5 grams or 0.69 ounces. Comes with a user manual, a keyring bag, one USB cable for the micro USB charging port, one pocket clip, and one warranty card. The light's capable of 4 different output methods. Moonlight mode, or low mode, or ultra low mode as they call it, is going to be 2 lumens for about 30 hours. And then the low mode is going to be about 20 lumens for 8 hours. And then medium mode is going to be 360 lumens for about 1.5 minutes, plus 95 minutes of about 100 lumens runtime, which steps down. High mode is going to be 650 lumens for about 1.5 minutes, plus 75 minutes for a step down. Features a Cree XP-G3 emitter, and it has a 260 milliamp hour LiPo battery that is rechargeable via the micro USB charging port. The impact rating on the light is going to be 1.5 meters. Here we can see a close-up of the A3. We have this in red. We have the pocket clip installed here. It's a decent pocket clip. It's something to write home about though, but it does fit in and out of pockets decently, and it fits in these grooves here on the body, which you can't see where the clip is on. And we have the micro USB charging port here on the side, and we have the button actuator on top, and a nice flat part on top of here. On the bottom here, we have a nice flat portion here where you can put the keychain part here or the lanyard, which I have installed. I'm a lanyard guy. The lanyard is a bit overdone for this particular small light, so I might actually take it off for this small light here. But that being said, it does come with the lanyard, and that's how I've attached it to it. You can tail stand this if you move the lanyard out of the side here. So it is tail standable, but it does require a little bit of balancing. On the front here, we can see the TIR optic with the Cree XP-G3 emitter. And here's our E-switch on top. So this is the light in its physical form. Not a bad physical form. It's nice and small and works pretty well for a pocketable carry or an EDC bag carry. Let's go ahead and access the modes here. One thing to note, there are 4 different modes. There's a ultra low, is what they call it, a low, a medium, and a high. And the high will run for about a minute before it steps down to about 100 lumens. Let's go ahead and pop this on here. 2 clicks and it comes on, and we are in ultra low mode, and you push one button to rotate it to low, medium, and then high, and then we'll turn off if you hold down the switch. Now if you momentarily hold down the switch, you'll get an access to the high mode immediately, which is fairly useful in the UI. If you push once, nothing happens. So it's designed to be sort of a semi-locked out light. Now, if you want to get to the strobe modes, simply push the button 3 times for any mode. 1, 2, 3 from off, and we'll get you to strobe mode. Press and hold, turn off. If we're in the standard modes here, 1, 2, 3, you can also get to the strobe mode. Press and hold, and it turns off. Now, there's an LED light in here that does glow when you're charging this. It'll glow red when you're charging, and I believe it glows blue when you're done charging. It takes about 70 minutes to charge the 260 milliamp hour battery. We're going to go ahead and get some beam shots and some more info on this light here in a moment. Okay, we're back shooting an aperture of 7.1. ISO is 2500. White balance is 5000K at 24 frames per second on a Panasonic GH2 14-42 millimeter lens. Here on the table we have the Oppo Light Master Pro and my phone to measure the lux, CCT, which is the color, temperature, and the RA or the CRI. That is the color rendering index, CRI. We have the light on in low mode here, and we'll go ahead and hold it up about maybe 1.5 feet or so, reading at about 134 lux, about 65 CCT, and about 72 CRI rating. And let's click that twice. Doing this with one hand here. Rotate it up to 800 lux or so on the low. And we're about 6700 CCT and 73 CRI rating. Let's go to medium mode here. and we're about 16,000 lux, about 7100 CCT, which is quite blue, and 74 CRI. Let's go to high, and we're settling at about 2400 lux or so, and about 72, 73 CCT, and 75 CRI rating. Back to the ultra low. Once again, this only sells about maybe 117 lux or so, and about 66 or 65 color temperature rating. So there's a shift in the color with this light, and it's not a bad color, but there is a shift a little bit when you change brightness levels. Let's go ahead and look at the beam profile real quick. On the side profile view, we have the ultra low, the moonlight mode here. Click once, we have the low mode, medium, and then high. And back to ultra low. Here's the beam profile. A nice tight hotspot in here. Nice soft diffuse though. And if we go to low mode, it extends out. The spill here. Still, again, a nice tight hotspot here in the center. And if we go to medium, we can really see that in the camera now. It's starting to push out on the sides here. There's a little bit of chromering on the edge here as we get to the brighter levels. And finally, the brightest level. There's a bit of a darkened circle here around the hotspot too. That's because of the TIR optic inside. But we do have a nice hotspot in the center, which is nice and clean, which is pretty good for a small keychain light. Here in the table, we can see the unit being charged at about 4.90 volts and about a current of 0.32 amps. And this LED here, if you can't see in the camera, is red. This will turn blue when this is done charging. And this is the micro USB port here that is charging through. Let's see if we can turn on the light if it is connected to USB power, and it is turned on right now in low mode. See if we can scroll to the low mode rather. We were in the ultra low before in the moonlight, and let's see if we can go up to medium and high. And our current does change a little bit on high. So it looks like you can run this light on USB power or while it's plugged into a USB power source. Overall, I do like the Aurora A3. It's got some decent size to it. It's got a nice body to it. Comes with a lanyard and has internal charging. So that means you can charge this up in the field if you have to. You can run it off of USB power as well. And it is a nice small profile. The pocket clip is decent. It goes back far enough where most of the light is in your pocket here, I feel. At least that's my opinion on it. So it's a decent pocket clip. It's nothing to write home about, but it does work decently for what it does. The lanyard's a nice addition, even though it's a little bit overkill for this size of a light, but it's still good to have the option here. The Cree XP-G3 emitter leaves some more to be desired with the shifting on the tint and the CRI rating a little bit, as we've seen in the beam shots, but it does work and is practical for a EDC light, so it's not that important for a light of this size to run a color accurately necessarily all the time, in my opinion, although that is my personal preference. They do make a model, though, to address this issue with the A3 model. It's called the Nietzsche 219C emitter, and that gives you a little bit more higher color rendering index. So you might want to look into that option for the A3 if you're into that. I personally would. The E-switch here could be a little bit better. It's nice that it lights up and shows you that it's charging and it changes colors. The tactile feeling is not the best in the world. It's kind of hard to tell if I've actually actuated it. You can feel it, but it's not the best tactile feeling. The modes, the way they're laid out, are decent. The fifth mode, which I don't really consider mode, is the strobe mode. It's not that useful in this size of a light, in my opinion. I'd much rather have a more signaling type of mode, like a beacon mode, or maybe even just a caution light mode, if you will. The strobe is a little bit much on the light of this size, in my opinion, and it's not the first thing I would reach for somebody attacking me personally. And that being said, the light does feature a LiPo battery, 260 milliamp hour battery, which is internal. That's good to have in a light like this, but the problem with that is that you can't replace it. So that's always going to be a con with these kind of lights that have an internal battery inside of it. Plus, the micro USB port is a little bit outdated nowadays, so I do recommend maybe a upgrade to USB-C, and they probably have done that. The bottom, they say you can tail stand this light, and it's true you can, but it's not very stable. You need a very stable platform in a static environment to really tail stand this effectively. You can do it with the lanyard on. It just takes a little bit of time and patience, but in the slightest wobble, it'll fall over, so it's not something you can rely on. Overall, though, it is a decent light, and I do like the size and form factor and the simplicity of it. And if you're looking for something like that, this might be something for you. I want to thank Jody from Killzoneflashlights. I'm an affiliate with them, and she sent this out for review. I do appreciate that. And I want to say thank you guys for watching, and enjoy your day.